Dragon Ball Super manga artist Toyotaro is blitzing through the Universal Survival arc in the manga, as we now have Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 32. This manga chapter not only continues the recruitment portion of the arc, not just for Goku, but also for some of the other universes, and introduces many characters that would become fixtures in this arc later on in the manga portion. Toyotaro has effectively crammed anywhere between 7 to 9 episodes of anime material into one manga chapter. And even though the anime had some really amazing moments and fun moments building up to this tournament, it's so much easier and quicker to read the manga version of the story than have to go through several hours of TV stuff just to get to the tournament. Chapter 32 begins with our friend Kaba, who is ordered by Champa to find more Saiyans and more people to recruit for Team Universe 6. This would of course lead to the introduction of Caulifla and Kale, but this version does things a little bit differently. Rather than having her be introduced with Kaba meeting up with her brother, instead Kaba's already on planet Sadala, and what happens is some cargo drivers go through Caulifla's territory and wind up running into her, and of course they can't screw around with these guys. Then we find out that the cargo is food that's being sent to the king of planet Sadala, whose name is King Sadala. Yeah, how creative. They are very quick to show Caulifla's martial arts expertise, telling the audience that she's going to be at least reasonably tough in this tournament. Of course, if you watch the anime, you know what she ends up doing, but for the manga readers, I think it was effective and fun. We are also introduced to Kale, who in this version seems to be a bit more serious and less whiny and scared and timid like she was in the anime. Somebody tries to sneak up behind Caulifla and Kale is right there to stop them. Effective, quick, and really I kind of enjoyed it. It's a little bit different take on the character. Then there's a quick and kind of pointless cutaway to planet Earth where Whis and Kaioshin are having a discussion about the other universes, and the only real takeaway from this scene is that I guess Whis never needs to sleep. I guess these angels never sleep. So that's, I guess, an interesting tidbit, but kind of pointless and really not necessary. Quickly we go back to planet Sadala where Caulifla and Kaba are having a battle, but he quickly transforms and shows Caulifla the true power of a Super Saiyan, and I really enjoyed the way Toyotaro drew Kaba in this panel. He looks incredible. This is great art from the man. And Caulifla was bragging about how she never lost a fight to a Saiyan, but Kaba shows her that, yeah, when you transform and that 50 times multiplier kicks in, it ain't gonna be so easy. And of course, Kaba fills her in on all the stuff that he found out from Universe 7, which surprises her because she had no idea, but can you really blame her? I mean, we the audience just found out about the other universes, just a couple years ago? And Dragon Ball's been around since '86 on TV, so yeah. Of course, Kaba agrees to teach her how to transform. Now, in the last manga chapter, we saw the recruitment of 17 and a few other things. This manga chapter skips all that other stuff. We go back to Earth and we find out that Roshi is in, Krillin is in, and we don't get any of the filler with Tenshin Han and that whole urine storyline from his academy. All of that was cut from the manga, which I think is a good thing, to be honest with you. And it's really cool that they just sliced all that stuff out, because even though that episode was funny, it's not really necessary. And Tenshin Han Tien also agrees to enter. We also see Baby Bra, and Toyotaro chose to name her Buddha, which is the correct actual way of saying her name. It's not Bulla, it's either Bra or Buddha, and that's pretty cool seeing that in the manga. There is a scene that I want to briefly talk about where Krillin does confront Goku about him lying about the 10 million Zeni prize. And Krillin and 18 pretty much say that now they don't have any more interest in entering, but they talk about all the different things and the different possibilities of where Goku can get the money from. And thankfully, Bulma steps in and says that she'll go ahead and pay it. To me, this was a little bit of a waste of time. I get why Toyotaro put it in there, but I thought it took up way too much time and way too many manga panels in my opinion. I see why they did it, but it could have been cut down a bit more. So now at this point, Universe 7 only has 9 members, but they have a day left to figure out who the last one is. Goku does talk about how he wishes that Future Trunks had stuck around, which I know a lot of fans also wanted. They wanted Trunks to be in this arc, but Beerus is mad because they killed everyone in Frieza's army, which, I mean, those guys were not going to be strong enough to be in this thing, but whatever. But that's done as a segue so that Whis can kind of explain Resurrection F, because if you remember, Toyotaro never adapted Resurrection F into the Dragon Ball Super manga. There was a 3-part promotional manga that came out during Resurrection F, but that was never really completed. It was just done to promote the movie. There was no real finality to it, and that's not really part of the Super manga. So this is kind of the first time where Whis explains a little tiny bit about the Resurrection F story, which there really wasn't much of a story to explain anyways, but hey, they put it in there. I did find it interesting, though, that Vegeta makes a comment about how Frieza's army may have been very vast, and there's probably people out there, but as far as fighters go, there should not be any more left. So that's it. Frieza's forces are pretty much finished. But of course, that leads to Goku saying, hey, we can go get Frieza. But they can't wish him back with the Dragon Balls because they've already made that wish, and you can't make the same wish twice, but Uranai Baba can bring him back to life for 24 hours. They have a bit of a discussion here about the danger of Universe 11 and whether or not it's worth bringing Frieza back. Goku talking about how not only was Toppo very difficult to fight, but there's supposedly somebody even stronger, which of course we know is Jiren. And so Goku actually asks Whis, he's like, so what do you know about the other universes? Like, are there stronger guys? And Whis is like, well, I'm not really sure, but even sometimes the gods of their own universe aren't familiar with every single fighter. So there might be strong fighters out there that even the gods aren't aware of, which of course could lead to a big storyline later on after this arc if they choose to go in that direction. So we cut back to Universe 6, and some time has passed because Caulifla has apparently figured out how to transform and says it was easy. So that whole thing about the tingly back that was in the anime, that was not in the manga, which I'm sure is going to make a lot of people happy because I know a lot of folks did not like that. And Kaba brings up the fact that the Universe 7 Saiyans all had more trouble transforming. So this whole idea about how the Universe 6 Saiyans can achieve these forms faster is addressed in the manga. And obviously, it's because they have tons of potential because they evolve differently. It's been talked about by me several times, and I'm happy that they're actually putting it in the manga so people understand that that's why Universe 6 gets so strong so fast. They do have a bit of funny foreshadowing where Caulifla talks about how Kale does have potential, but right now she's not that strong, which Kale apologizes for. So again, that's kind of fun foreshadowing considering what would happen to Kale in the tournament. We'll see how Toyotaro gets there when he gets there. And so back on Earth, it's pretty much decided by everyone that Frieza probably does need to come back. Even though Beerus is not a big fan of it, it's one of those things where, well, it's a great idea and it might actually work out, according to Whis. Vegeta and Goku both assure them that, well, if he gets out of hand, they'll take him down. And the way they introduced Frieza in the manga was awesome. So it starts off with this dream sequence he's having where we actually see the end of the Resurrection F story, which is Vegeta, fighting Frieza, beating him, and then Goku getting the kill like it was in the movie and in the TV version. Again, this is the first time that Toyotaro has had a chance to draw this, and it was cool that he was unable to do that arc because the manga skipped it, and he finally got a chance to draw the big climax, which is something that we didn't get to see before. When Frieza wakes up from his dream, who is the one person he doesn't want to see right in front of him? Son Goku. The manga does explain that this cocoon is sort of a personal hell for Frieza, and Madaio, King Yema, is punishing him by surrounding him with these little animals because it's the best way for him to suffer. So that was kind of a cool revelation that we kind of suspected, but now we know for sure. And Goku begins to explain why they need Frieza and how he can get out of there for 24 hours. But on Earth, time is running out, so everybody's starting to worry about what could happen. We find out that Trunks was put in charge of 17's island, and Goku still has not arrived, and time is running out. They make some jokes about Yamcha being the only person left, and hey, Tien's like, let's call Chaozu. Those are both pretty bad options right there. Gohan also explains that Piccolo and him trained, so he's looking a lot better. But Goku and Frieza do show up, and both are all injured and cut up because apparently the negotiations, let's just say, to take a term out of the Star Wars prequels, they were aggressive negotiations. They beat the crap out of each other before Frieza accepted. But Goku assures us that Frieza has indeed gotten stronger than the last time they fought. And Frieza explains that he went through image training, dreaming about killing Goku thousands of times and getting stronger as a result. At the end of this video, I will leave a link to a video I did on this topic to explain how Frieza got so strong, so you can check that out when you get done with the review. But anyways, there is some comedy here, people adjusting to Frieza, but pretty much the time has come for them to go, and the Grand Priest teleports them to the World of Void, with Bulma telling Vegeta she'll be waiting for him, and the team teleports away, and Bulma says, "We're counting on all of you." And that is the end. Next month, the Tournament of Power will officially begin. Overall, even though I love the fact that Toyotaro was able to cram 9 episodes of material into one manga chapter, I did feel that some of this did drag. Some of it was a bit unnecessary. The conversations and exposition scenes could have been done a lot quicker, and I really feel like we were kind of robbed of more Goku and Frieza stuff, but hopefully we'll see more in the near future. But overall, it was a decent manga chapter, totally forgettable, but not bad. Either way, it is much, much quicker than the anime version. Thanks so much for checking out my manga review, and I hope y'all have a great day.